stay playing. Ew. No. Never. Actually. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I had to stop and do some math. Because there's like a yeah, hang on a second, let me see something. Yeah, because I'm having a time telling whether or not what's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, hi everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope the day was restful and productive for y'all. I want to say that we are maybe at either 1305 or 1310, depending on how you look at it. Somebody threw in, it looks like a monthly subscription of some kind. I don't know if I should count that or not. Because I have, not naming names, I have 3 people that I know. I have 3 people that I know who have always been doing monthly well before this. So I don't know if they're. I feel like I should only be counting one-offs. So with one-offs, we're at 1305. If I include what may or may not be a new subscription that I just got, we're at 1310. So I'm not sure how I want to count it. But either which way, I hope everybody's Wednesday was restful and productive. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, this winter rent drive thing is basically speaking, so the opportunity that I was talking about, looking into, it looks like it is, I want to say the odds are high that we've made it TM, but I don't know for sure. Well, sorry, I should phrase that a little more carefully. So I think things are looking well for the opportunity that I was talking about in January, but there are a couple of final confirmations that are not under my control. We have to see how it goes. And so I've pulled on the last of my savings. I'm just retelling this story. This is not like new stuff if you've been here for the last couple of streams. I pulled the last of my savings to try to make sure I can get through November and December for rent. I basically got all I've got left in the tank is all I have left in the tank. I'm not naming numbers because I don't want to go into my finances on stream like that. But basically this winter rent drive is to make sure that I have a little bit of extra to see me through for after December, because I don't start, the opportunity in January doesn't start to January 20th. That much I can say for sure. If everything squares away with it, doesn't start to the 20th of January. And then I would get paid the 1st of February. So basically all the winter rent drive is doing is essentially adding onto the savings I already, the last of the savings that I've already pulled, so that I can very comfortably have a cushion for that January, February while things spin up, and make sure that like I land solid on my feet. So we've made it to about... Yeah, so that's why I was saying before, I'm sort of trying to figure out whether I want to count... whether or not I want to count... the subscription that I just got. I don't think it's a new one because Ko-Fi is counting it as a new subscriber. I don't know if I want to count that subscription because it's either $13.05 or $13.10. Hang on a second. Alright. Cool. Alright, so yeah, today we're not doing Shoot Lancer stuff because we are working on Shoot Lancer. I had the launch party for the Game Design Future Lab last week, Thursday. It was really cool. Got to talk to a lot of people about Shoot Lancer and the cool things we're doing in it. But all the time prepping up for that and just kind of other stuff has... we're still working on Shoot Lancer stuff, obviously. It's just that I don't have anything that is, like, clean enough to show y'all tonight. So we're not doing that. Instead, I have a different game that I've been working on for a while that I want to go putter around in. I need to remind myself of where exactly... I have to remind myself of where exactly I left off anyway, and then sort it out from there. Oh yeah, and it looks like Valve has, yet again, in the way that only Valve can, done the thing where they go, lol, hey, guess what we're doing? Um, we are kind of coasting on the fact that we know how to print money. Here's more Steam Machine type stuff. Have fun, including a VR headset. And what looks like a little, what people are calling the GameCube affectionately. It's just like a cube, it's like a cube-shaped thing that looks like it's going to be running SteamOS on it. So, Valve wins again, Lamau. I'm hyped and hoping things go easy. Thank you, Shen. I'm hoping so. Yeah. So once again, Gaben and crew have back at it again. Krispy Kreme. They keep taking advantage of the fact that their platform is, for all of it, is a miserable, heart-rending black box. Also, incredibly versatile and flexible. So, you know. I'm interested in the new Steam controller. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, so let's see where I left off. Because I was trying to figure out how to get this thing to work correctly last time, I think. I've only heard glowing reviews of the old Steam controller and been moaning that production of it was discontinued. Yeah, Steam kind of rules PC game. Yeah, it is. I am being charitable when I say that it is frankly ridiculous. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go hang out over here just because it will be easier to wind up there later when I need to. So we're just gonna put this on in the back. Alright. Let me figure out where I was. Let me go figure out where I was with Rush Crush, because it's been a little while since I've actually been developing this one. I wanted to put this up as a nice little, like, quick and dirty game, but then I had to get curious about this plugin for doing remapping and menu stuff and a bunch of other things. And unfortunately, one of the things that people do not tell you about using templates, one of the things that people do not tell you about using templates is that while they can be cool sometimes, the main issue with them is that it can sometimes be a devil of a time to get it to do the thing that you want. In this particular case, the devil of the time that I'm talking about is mostly that this game, against my will, has a continue button, and I do not want that. And I do not know how to make it stop. But yeah, the premise of Rush Crush is pretty straightforward, right? You play a little waddling head. And you have the ability to charge up super jumps, stomp on things, and rush into things. And the basic idea is essentially that as the level progresses, more enemies spawn from different parts of the screen, and you kind of just have to coordinate around. And the longer you go, the more that the longer you go, the more active spawn points become active at any given time, right? Looks like it'd be fun to see the chat. Yeah. If the spawn rates were a little bit higher, and it's very deliberately a thing where I'm like, I want to let them slow down a little bit. If the spawn rates were a little bit higher, I would probably also include a hang time bonus of some kind, probably. But they don't. The spawn rates deliberately don't pick up until after a little bit of time. And technically speaking, the best way to get more points is by using the rush, because when you rush into something, you get half of its point value for hitting it with a rush, and then you get more points again when it lands. The basic idea being that, yeah, you can also use it to get rid of other. You can also use like a properly rushed enemy in order to get rid of others by using them as by using them as basically living projectiles, and that's the idea. And the game is like just this. Oh, wait a minute. What scene did it just go to? Because that wasn't this one. Shit. Because that scene that it went to, that's the one that I wanted to go to. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, this is why. Because it went back over here. Okay. Let me see here. Because the main thing is that, like, using this menu would be great, and I'd be happy with that. It's just that I need this to I need this thing to not show up. I do not want continue game. I may want a level select button, but I do not want a continue game button at all. So I need to figure out how to get this to stop doing that. I do not want the continue game button to show up. I would like that to stop. But I need to figure out how to do that because as I've been trying to look at the documentation, this thing does not tell me one way or the other. So let me see here. Okay. Can I even update this thing without things going to hell? Let's figure it out. Whoops! I accidentally let it rip. Well, time to find out what I broke, because I was not paying attention and I accidentally pressed the button. The function signature doesn't match the parent. Okay, cool. Broke that by accident. Alright, hang on. Now I get to go try to figure out what things don't work. And this is the other thing, unfortunately, about using templates, right? Where depending on the thing that you do and how you do it, you wind up in a situation where like this sort of thing happens, where it's like, wow, everything went straight to hell. All right. I'm gonna make an executive decision here. And that executive decision is that I would rather just write this myself than use, even if it's nicer, I would rather write most of this myself rather than use a template in this case, because trying to sort out, not that the template is bad, but trying to sort out specifically the way that this stuff is supposed to work is giving me a headache, and it annoys me a little bit. So let's do this. Let's do this my way. So, I might need that at least. But let's see here. Yeah, I don't want any of that. Oh, like, go away. At most, I want the seat loader, I think. Alright, let's try this again. Much better. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Okay, good. Okay, so let's take a look here. Oh, I already had one of these. Okay, so let's take a look here. Uh, project settings, general. Cool. Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to have to see how that goes. I'm gonna just take a look through a couple of these to see. Okay, that's all of that. And it does the remapping, but I want something that has an interface for it also. Because having done this before where I've like had to write um an interface for inputs and saving inputs and doing that. I would prefer not to do that again if I have the option not to. I would be very happy if, like, one, the images weren't broken, and two, I got a clearer idea of this is the unfortunate thing. Okay, we do have okay. Multiplayer input is going to be a thing that I want. That would be nice. So basically, I'm just sitting and looking through some of the things for input remapping and persistent things like that because um, okay. And every time I want to, I go and I look to see what the documentation is like because if if whoever it is doesn't document it very well, then it's like I'm not gonna use this because y'all are making my life way more difficult than it needs to be because okay. When was the last time input was updated? Okay. Been a minute, so nope. That's monitoring and testing. I would like rebinding, remapping, which might be Mac again. Oh, we're gonna have to see. Please document your stuff, people. I beg you. Okay, what's in this one? Okay. I might like that one. So I'm gonna grab this one. It doesn't do the thing that I want it to do, but I do need it. I do need a thing that can differentiate between taps, double taps, things like that. So I'm gonna grab that anyway. Alright, we'll just have to try again with max input remapping and hope that this doesn't explode in my face miserably.
Okay, looks like these turned out fine.
Okay, I think we have managed it.
Just want to open this again and see if things explode. Okay, good. Things don't explode. Alright. Okay, good. Good. Project settings. Now I can come over here to the input map and we just fix a couple things. Pause. It's this one, and then over here it's this. And then we just add one and we do that. Okay. Okay, test it again. Let me make sure that this didn't break horribly. Okay, nice. Gonna make one adjustment here. We're gonna switch themes. Yeah, okay, this is already better. Mostly. I know that this text is like really difficult to see, but the important thing mostly is that this stuff did the things it was supposed to do, which is what I was primarily worried about. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, I have to enable the plugin. Okay, so that's settings, plugins. Good. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Alright, so then this means I don't need this one. And I don't think I need either of these now. Because those came in the menus one. Okay. So I think I have managed to mostly wrestle this into obedience now. Okay, so now the main question is mostly how do I get this one open? Input options menu. And then we want to come back, I think open this one, right? No, not that one. It's one of these. Hold on. Okay, good. So now it's just a matter of finding out. Here it is. We're gonna say game secondary. And those are the only ones that we need. Okay, good. So now it's just a matter of actually being able to get this thing open when I call it. So over here on the options button, we're going to have to figure out a way to get the call to work. But Okay, so the main thing that I'm trying to figure out right now is mostly where is the spot where I do a call to open up the menu, right? Because the main thing that I was like trying to figure out the last time I was working this, and I realized that this is where I got stuck. I got stuck mostly because I got stuck largely because the thing that was never quite sorted out for me was yeah, we're not doing that one. Y'all need to use the thing that I was never quite able to sort out was like which specific there we go, that's much better. The thing that I was never quite able to figure out was how to get the custom menu stuff to actually, you know, open up. That's the part that I was having trouble with, I think, the last time I did this. Because in the Infinite Wisdom, right, they're like, hey, you can use this as standalone. Great, cool. What if I want to actually open this thing up? It's like, well, you see. And it's like, no, I don't see. I need you to, like, get me this thing. So let me see here. Alright. Because I'm pretty sure that if I try to take... Yeah, because basically speaking, what I need to do is get this bad boy. Essentially, if I get this thing open up, then I'm good, basically. So this is the part that I have to figure out, right? Is it a matter of
the main part that I mostly have to figure out what are the conditions under which this menu operates and does the things that it needs to do, basically speaking. And that is the part that I'm having trouble figuring out, because it's not very clearly explained. Because I'm assuming that the main assumption made was, oh yeah, you're totally gonna want to just use like our thing anyway, right? So then why would you? It's one of those things where like, yeah, you're just gonna totally use our thing anyway, right? And it's like, it's one of those things. So like, yeah, you're just gonna use our woof, our template anyway, right? And it's like, no, not necessarily. So I need to know how to get yours to do the things I needed to do. Thank you. I have an idea, so I'm gonna do something silly and I'm gonna see if it works. We're gonna see what happens if I instantiate. Um, and I know that we have an ad, but when we get back, we will have some things to work with. I think. So this is, yeah, you're not open. Yeah, but I moved you. Yes. All right, let me try this again. Export. Therapy smoke break. Okay. So what I'm doing here is
I am attempting a thing. Because the main complicating factor here, such as it is that the main complicating factor here, such as it is that the plugin that I'm using was written in GD script, and I'm currently using C# for the project. So the complication that creates is that there are certain degrees of communication that are going to become much more complicated between those two types of scripts unless I'm very careful, and I'm going to get to figure out the limits of just how far I can push that and what winds up happening as I do these things. Okay. So, the good news is that it looks like my idea has mostly worked. The good news is that it looks like my idea has mostly worked. The bad news is that now I have to figure out how to get out of this, basically. So, alright. Looks like that worked. Actually, I have no idea if that's the problem. 50-50. Because the main thing mostly is that I have to... Here's basically where we start getting a little bit in a situation, right? Because now it's a question of how do I get out of this menu, right? this is where we get a little awkward, because I had to basically figure out, all right, how do I get out of this menu? And this is the part where, unfortunately, right, the fact that I chose to write this in C# while a lot of other things are written in GD script means that I sort of don't know. Well, this is slightly incorrect. I think I may still be able to get variables from from this thing somehow or another if I take a look and see in documentation maybe how I can know what's open and what's not. Because the part now that becomes an issue is mostly that, for example, I have no way of knowing, because like here's pretty much an example of like what I'm reasonably sure is going to be an issue here. Let's say, for example, that you want to, all right, your options, cool. You want to come over here and you want to change. Okay. Huh. Oh, right. That's why that wasn't working. I'm like, no errors are happening. That's a surprise. It's because I forgot to do something important. Which is over here, we need to add a... Hold on. That belongs in there. We're going to add a confirmation dialog over here. 2D. Welcome back, Cat Wizard. Because basically, watch this. This is where we're going to run into a hiccup here. Huh. Because basically now the part we need to figure out is like how to close this menu. Yeah. This is the part we have to figure out now. How we close this menu. So, hang on a second here. Input map. Yeah, this should demonstrate the problem that we're having now. We're supposed to see the program running there. Oh, why is it gone missing? Hold on a second. I gotta be careful that I don't accidentally Okay, there we go. I wanted to be careful that I didn't like accidentally put up something on screen that's not supposed to be there. Huh. Interesting. I really would have expected... I really would have expected... I know why it's not running. I just need a minute to... Huh. That is a surprise. Oh, okay. I know that y'all can't see it while it's playing, but that's because something weird's going on. Hold on. There we go. Y'all should be able to see it when it's playing now. Huh. The thing that I thought was going to be a problem isn't a problem, but then the other things that I would like to happen are not happening either. Which is interesting. Oh, y'all can't even see the code windows either. Whoops. Hang on a second. Okay, so that part is working. Which means... Interesting. So... Okay, never mind. We've more or less figured it... Why have I gone blurry? Ah, damn it. Ah, camera. Just doing camera things, and it's gone out of focus for no reason. Moving my hand in front of the lens. Hold my hand in front of the lens. Move it. Hold my hand in front of the lens. And then move it. Damn it! Hang on a second. Let me do a thing real quick. I'm gonna go into the webcam scene. We're gonna lose audio for a second while I tweak it, so hold on.
Alright, we're good. I just had to turn off the autofocus and then manually bring the focus down to 0. And that fixed it. Alright, so, as it turns out, actually, I might be a genius. Because the thing that I was expecting to happen, the thing I was expecting to happen and go horribly wrong didn't go horribly wrong, which I'm happy about. So, the weird thing, the only weird thing that seems to be happening right now. So, let me also just go adjust the thing with the title C main menu state. I'm just going to do export category. General, and we're just going to do export control. Ability node dot show, and then here we're going to do disability node dot high. So basically speaking, so the thing that I was expecting to go wrong didn't, and I am grateful for that. I'll explain it in a second. Basically speaking, I forgot that the nice thing about Godot is that how do you say? It has a very high resilience for certain things in spots I don't expect. So, for example, right now we are actively in the options menu, right? And so, yeah, we have what looks like, whoops. So, we have a nice actual functioning everything. The only problem is that it seems as if I cannot get it to recognize when this is, so let me adjust this a little bit. And then let me make sure that I have this input correct. Okay, UI underscore cancel is the one. All right, so let's do enum election because so let's just do this. So we're going to do public enum input names. We're going to do UI accept, UI cancel, and then I'm going to go get the names of the other inputs as we have them here, so that if I ever need to reference an input name, I don't have to remember how I spelled it. I just spell it correctly here, reference the enum, and turn it into a string, and it's good. Move left, move right, jump, stomp, rush, pause. I'm going to take a screenshot of these so I can just spell them right the first time. and not have to worry about it. So I'm taking a screenshot. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take my screenshot. I'm just going to cover a chat window with it for a second. Left, right, jump, stomp, rush, pause. And then we're going to do an enum that contains the names of all inputs we really need to know about. Makes it harder to accidentally typo things. And it's mostly because, as far as I can tell, I have not found an input reader that, or I haven't found an input system for this. So input names dot UI cancel to string will just turn UI underscore cancel into a string flat out, and it will match the name of the actual input in the Godot editor, and so we don't have to worry about that. gd.print This is a very specific joke. This is a very specific joke that I am doing on purpose because I have to amuse myself somehow. I have to amuse myself with these things somehow. If anybody here has happened to watch Kamen Rider Amazons, you know what's what. Amazons, are they all no. No, you would think so, but no. So, I'll explain it like this. Kamen Rider Amazon singular is, so Kamen Rider Amazon singular, is the title of a, oh, has this gone missing again? Alright. Why are you always like this? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so for whatever reason, I cannot quite figure out why, but basically speaking, the actual controller input for insofar as like the cancel button is concerned, doesn't quite seem to be doing the thing here. But if I hit this, right? If I hit the actual manual escape key on my keyboard, it works fine and does the thing it needs to do, which is weird. So this means, hang on. Public override ready, base ready, confirm dialog dot confirmed plus equals state machine dot change state previous state. Okay, so if my supposition is correct here, then what should happen is, if I open up the menu over here, hit this, and hit OK, alright, delegate, oh,
Hold on. Try this. I don't know if that will work. So that's the weird part to me in particular, is that okay, so then why in tarnation? Because for whatever reason that I cannot figure out for the life of me, for whatever reason that I cannot figure out, the cancel button doesn't work. The cancel button is not being picked up from my controller at all. But if I do tell it to close the options menu, it will close the options menu. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that one. So yeah, because we got one of the $5 donations before, this is why I put a googly eye on before. So we're at like 1305-ish. Probably. But yeah, the part that I cannot seem to figure out right now, and we're not going to be on for too much longer. Also, I'm hungry. But okay, so for whatever reason, all right, I was making and I was explaining the Kamen Rider and Amazon's joke, and then I got completely distracted. So, Kamen Rider Amazon was one of the Showa era riders for Kamen Rider. It's like while Shotaro Ishinomori, the Cyborg 009 guy, while he was still alive, Kamen Rider was basically one of his ideas, alongside Super 7. So, Kamen Rider Amazon, I don't remember which Showa rider he was, but Kamen Rider Amazon was basically very different for a Kamen Rider at the time. He wasn't really insect themed, more so based off of a monitor lizard. He transformed using an armlet and by going Amazon. And then there's a whole sequence where they scale and multiply his images if he's being reflected in like the compound eye of like an insect or something, and then he does other stuff. The whole idea is that, you know, he's essentially Kamen Rider Tarzan. It's the simplest way to put it, except Japanese and not white, and in the Amazon and not in an unspecified jungle on the African continent or something. That's basically what Kamen Rider Amazon is about. Kamen Rider Amazons, on the other hand, is basically not a straight reinterpretation of that, but they're like, all right, so what if we took Kamen Rider Amazon, which was already, for a Kamen Rider series of that time, relatively gory and kind of like a lot. What if we made that into like a web serial that is also really, really dramatic and really, really gory? And so the it's not an opening song exactly, because Kamen Rider Amazons I don't think really has those, but the ending song is called Armor Zone, as opposed
but when you say it in Japanese, Amazon, right? So that's kind of like the whole pun. That the closing themes and other special themes, most of them for Kamen Rider Amazons, sound like something else. So there's like another theme, I think, for like the second season called Eat, Kill, All, but the way that the speaker pronounces it when singing it is Ikiro. So it sounds like Ikiro, or live, right? And similarly, I think the movie theme is called Die Set Down, but it sounds very close to the original Kamen Rider Amazon's one of his finishing moves, the Die Sets Down, which is like just a big violent chop. Where like they don't like show it because again this is like Amazon aired, I want to say like either closer to the late 70s or early 80s, so they weren't like being like hyper gory, but like the Die Sets Down is literally when Amazon does it, like straight chopping people in half, right? Anyway, the whole point of this joke is that in Armor Zone, if you listen like the first 30 seconds of it, literally the singer opens it up with like which is pretty much the only reason why I did this. So for whatever reason, I don't know why, I cannot figure out what it is or what would be causing this. It looks like from the controller, specifically from the controller and nowhere else, and this is weird and I don't know why it's happening this way, from the controller, it looks like, and I don't know why, I could not begin to tell you, I do not know why this is. But it looks like, for whatever reason, right? The controller's input for UI cancel is not being accepted for whatever reason, which is weird. I don't know why. I don't know why that's happening, and it's weirding me out a little bit. So, because this is the part that's like weird. This is the part that's weird, right? Because we've got the compilation dialogue over here. Close the options menu. No. Yes.
Yeah, so like the part that I'm weirded out about, that I'm not really sure. It's like the part that I'm weirded out about, that I'm not really sure about, and I don't know what is going on, and what has me like a little bit, a little stymied, a little, stymied, a little confused, a little scratching my head a little, is the fact that for whatever reason, um, like the cancel input just isn't doing the thing. Um, if I hit escape, then it does it. Okay, and it's not reacting here either, actually. Okay, so then it might be a thing where the folk. Okay, so then is it a thing where I have to figure out. Alright, I might have to do. Do I figure out how to add a button to the. Okay. Because. Hang on a second. I'm gonna add. I'm curious about something, because. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, that's. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that one. That's not gonna help. Alright, so from what I can tell, best I can figure is that something. Okay, it could be the visibility focus that's doing it, but like, what I want to know is, why is it that when I press the cancel button, I can't. That's the part I want to know. That's what I want to know. Why is it that when I hit the cancel button, I cannot. It's like. Yeah, so for whatever reason, right? And I don't know why. I don't know why, and it does annoy me a little bit. I don't know why. But for whatever reason, it's not. But it's not doing the other stuff. Yeah, like this is the part that I can't figure out. Because essentially speaking, right? And it's clearly not that it's not reading input from the controller, because it is, right? Because if it wasn't reading input from the controller, then none of this stuff would be working, right? Like, none of this stuff would be working if it wasn't reading input from the controller. But okay. Is it me? Thank you, Shark, for the raid. That's not... I meant to do this. You can't raid somebody who's just stopped. You can't raid somebody who stopped. I'm being silly. Okay. Because, yeah, the weird thing that I cannot figure out for the life of me right now is why... Hold on a second. Alright. I didn't want to have to do it this way, but I hadn't considered that that might be an issue. How you doing, Shark? I hope things are well with y'all. Okay, no, that's not it either. Okay, so then what in the Sam hell? Because, for whatever reason... Alright, so that persists here. And then if I do this again, does it stay? How is Times in Galaxy? Hopefully well. It's fun. I was mostly doing yappy co-working today, though. Okay. That's cool, though. That's good. So, dadgummit. So, the good news is that the input stuff, it saves and it works. The problem is that for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is, and it's making my ass itch. Okay, that's good, honestly. Okay. Because the part that's weird is that for whatever reason, let me see here. No confirmation dialog doesn't. Okay. So, for whatever reason, I can't figure it out. Actually, alright, let me check something here. gd dot get tree dot paused. I'm curious about something here. Because I don't think the tree's paused it either. So that can't be it. Alright, so if that's not it, then why... Just so you know, you keep stopping before you describe the actual issues. It's very funny. So, it's like edgy. Sorry, it's because I described it right before you showed up. So, I keep circling it in my brain because I'd already described it before you showed up. So I keep circling back around to it. Okay, so in some in summary, for whatever reason, I don't know why, even though this menu is properly accepting inputs from my controller, for whatever reason, I don't know why, whenever I'm trying to do the cancel input, it's not, the things are not thinking. The script is not responding when I do that. And I don't know why. And it's weirding me out a little bit, because I don't know why that's the case. If input names dot is, because I'm pretty sure that I didn't. If input dot is action just pressed. Let me try this just to make sure I'm not like input names dot UI accept dot string gd dot print. Alright. Just because I need to... Okay, well, that's not doing jack and shit, so we're just gonna do it like this. Oh yeah, for anybody that's lurking, if you want to hang out with us when we're not doing stream stuff, that link is to my Discord. You can go join up that way. The security is very old school because I have not... Okay. Okay, so it's working here because every time I press, even over here, right? Like, okay, so this is running. This is doing the thing it's supposed to do. Okay, so what did I do? There has to be something that I did that's making this not work. UI underscore cancel, no extra spaces, right? Alright. Because I don't want to have to do... Alright. Because... Why... It's picking up that, but why isn't it picking up cancel? Okay.
Okay, so why? What in the Sam hell? So when so it is very clearly picking up other, but not okay. Because I'm not even getting like this stuff, right? Like so I don't need those because those obviously work. I'm not even getting like the print messages or anything, which is the part that's like really making my head itch because I'm like, wait a minute now. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go look at the thing about the confirmation dialogue. Well, no, even without the confirmation dialogue, like, even if I'm not like messing with that. Okay, why? Yeah, like what the? Oh, okay. Is UI cancel? Right action, Sony Circle, Xbox B, Nintendo A, all devices. That. Yeah, like it should be this one. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna see if it's just the button that it was assigned to. Because I don't think it's the button that it's assigned to. I think it's just the action itself straight out me. The new version of... Okay, yeah, the button's just not being read. What in the... Yeah, the new version of what specifically, Shark? You lost me a little. Of Godot? Yeah, this is Godot 4.5.1. This was not working in I hadn't had this working like a previous version of Godot, so this isn't a situation where it's like, oh, it was working fine before, now it's not. It's like, no, I figured out how to do this thing that I couldn't do before, and now it's not doing the thing. So I might have to just leave this one be, because my brain is itching, but not in the I want to figure out this challenge way, but in the I'm getting agitado and want to go do something else way. Yeah, I am slowly untilting. So yeah, I don't know what it is. And while I did just join a Godot help server recently, the main thing is that I do not know if they can help me figure out this particular thing. Because the best I can figure is that something is blocking the input, but it sort of doesn't make sense because, okay, I have one other thing I can test that I can try to use as a benchmark for figuring out what's going on here before I say fuck it. and we call stream and I go do something else. I don't think this is going to actually solve the issue. I think it is still going to be a problem. I'm going to try it anyway. I doubt this is actually going to fix it, because this seems like it is not just a controller issue, but just more generally a input accepting issue. Yep. Yeah, what in the actual hell? Okay, I'm just gonna have to go ask some people if they know what's going on. Because I'm clueless. Okay, hold on. I have maybe one wild, silly idea that should not work. But I'm gonna try it anyway.
Alright. Let's... I want to see something here. Oh. Yeah, what in the... Alright. I don't think... So, what I did was... Sorry, y'all couldn't see it. I went over here into the input options menu and told it to show... Alright. There. That's fine. Let's let those revert. Okay. Because... What in the Sam hell? Okay. That's what I thought. Okay, so project settings, input map. Okay, that's what I thought. So then... Alright, hold on a second. I'm gonna rearrange a couple of things, because I want to see how this reacts. Well, no. I did this on the wrong things and I'm not paying attention. Okay, so that should be fine, but I want accept and cancel, I want to be those two. Don't show in the buildings. Okay, let me see something here. I'm curious about one thing. I'm just testing out something to see. input options menu. Let's just do roller ABM. I'm gonna just do it like that. Because the thing that I don't get is why okay, right? So enter keypad, enter space. Okay, good. Oh, now it works. Okay, that was weird. Figured it out. Never mind. Excellent. I no longer have to worry about that shit. It works. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. Cool. We don't have a pause menu yet, but don't care. I got the thing to work. So, some combination of manually remapping it and rearranging, possibly also rearranging the rearranging these also did it. IDK. It's weird. Whatever, I guess. Sure. So there was a point where you all couldn't see it, but I did like manually remap. I did like manually remap escape. But now, yeah, now we have run into the problem that I was worried about, where we have run into the problem I was worried about, where if when you press a particular input and you hit that, right? This is the part I was worried about, where if you hit a particular input and you press the B button, then it will interfere with the capture of the thing that you're trying to do. And that's the part I was worried about, because I don't know if I have a way of knowing if this thing is currently waiting for input or not. And that's the annoying part that I now need to figure out. I think I know a way around it. I may have to do a silly thing, but I think this might be the only way around it. Okay, see, now that I've solved it, now my brain is cooking. Alright. But in like a good way. Alright. Alright. Sometimes the only way is to make a way. So here's what we're gonna do. Here is what we are going to do. Because this is basically the only way that I can keep track of this. Export category. Firm. Export confirmation dialog. Oh wait, right there. I think this is pretty much the only way I can do this. Sometimes you just gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Sometimes this is the only way. Where the thing that you do is oh yeah, need to make sure that the reset confirmation is also. In time window. This is basic, so we're basically brute forcing it. Because I don't think I don't know input reset window false. So basically speaking, what I'm doing here is setting it up so that I'm just doing a brute force check of, hey, if either of these windows are, if all of these windows are hidden and you press the cancel button, then you can do this one. I think it is a brute force way of doing it, and it's not ideal, but we do what we have to. So now, really, we just do control options root node. And so really what we do is options root node that visible is true. So here we make sure that it's not, so we hide it really. We show it when we enter this state, and then we do options root node, and we hide it when we leave the state. And I think that should give us roughly the same control. I think. So now I just need to like rebuild this, throw this over here, and now let's give this a go. Damn it! Alright, hold on. Okay, yeah, you're not supposed to. Alright. Yeah, that's what I thought. So none of those are visible. Let's try this instead. So, yeah, all three of these things have to be true. If none of them, if I just pressed cancel and none of these things have focus, then it should be doing that. Alright, come on. Debugger. Oh. Those don't agree. I think. Well, let's do that over there. Okay. Make chocolate exclusive. Okay. Alright, hang on. I want to see one thing. These are the things that this is what's making my brain itch and itch bad. Alright. Okay. So then why... Oh wait, I just pressed it while that was a... Damn it, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, try that again. Options. Oh, but no, it was open. It was open. What are you doing? Ah, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay. What I don't understand is... But you're visible now. Right? Aren't you? Am I? Okay, hold on a second. Alright. I can't figure out for the life of me why. Yeah, why are you open? Okay. Welcome back, Cat Wizard. Okay, why? 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 Because the thing is that I'm trying to work around. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Alright, I know that like their primary secondary influence is not needed. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay. So. Why isn't it printing? That's the part that has me weirded out right now. Here, this situation. Because what is... Oh, I did reset it, didn't I? Oh, hold on. Let me see something here. Okay. And if I do... Because if I could just figure out why it's not paying attention to the stuff I'm doing, that would be great. Okay, I see. Interesting. So, it looks like... Damn it! Oh. That's what's happening. Okay. I see. It's doing the remap, and then... It's doing the remap, then closing it,
then doing that, and that's why. This whole time I'm like, why is it doing that? It is literally just because it's literally just because when you close it, it is immediately closing it and then opening that one. So I think I know how to do this. I think I know how to do this. This is going to be a little bit scuffed, but I think I know how to do this. Okay. This is going to be incredibly scuffed, and I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. This is quite possibly one of the most scuffed ideas I've ever come up with. no, this is nonsense code that I just wrote that's not going to do anything, and I'm going to have to look back at this later. But the short answer is basically that it does work now. The problem is just that, like, the window closes immediately. Yeah, basically the problem is that basically when you do this, right, the window closes immediately, and I have to figure out a way to make it stop doing that. That's it. That's the tweet. All right. No, it's like 10:30. I need to stop. The next ad is going to be starting at like 9:48, and I need to quit being stubborn. I mostly have it working. I will have to figure out the other part of it later, TM. Thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donations that I did get tonight. It is heckin' cold in here, but I'm chill. It's cool. I am getting the fuck up out of here. I appreciate y'all cold, but you're hot. Yeah, but the weather outside is not. So, links for stuff. I forgot Nightbot has been doing fighting game stuff this entire time. Links for stuff is over there. Munity, which is working on Shoot Lancer, which is not the game I was working on tonight because we have some other things to do with that before I show y'all stuff. And then, if you want to hang out with us when we're not online, you can come join the Discord. I reopened it recently. Keep in mind that that there are some like very manual sort of like checks and balances kinds of things. Well, I forgot what I was saying. If you want to know more about Unity, which is right, I was saying before, Shoe Lancer has some more stuff to cook before I can show it on stream again. In the interim, probably game dev streams will be focusing on other stuff instead. So, I appreciate y'all coming by. We still have some more milestones to reach as far as the Winter Rent Drive is concerned. If we make it to 50%, that unlocks a stream series for Nocturne HD Remaster, except with the content that I didn't do, which is the content that everybody knows the game for: Dante, Devil May Cry, blah blah blah. I accidentally left it out the first time I was playing because I didn't know that I had to get the DLC beforehand. So if we make it to $2,000, then that means I have to play that at some point. 4,000, Shadow Hearts 1. My first time playing it, and I have no idea what was going on. So, that's pretty much all I've got. Thank y'all. We're gonna go hang out at Pleasantly Twisted. They're currently playing some Elden Ring Night Rain. The DLC I think that just came out, that's what they're focusing on. I'm pretty sure is what's happening. If I have that wrong, I'm sorry. My brain is a little cooked. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you go outside, be excellent to each other. Not the bigots, racist, terrorists, sexists, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Black Lives Matter, trans rights, and reproductive rights and human rights. Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, New Caledonia, and Haiti must all be free. None of us are free till we're all free. Look out for each other, take care of each other the best you can. Times are tough out there. Knowing that, again, I appreciate people that have been spreading the word about the Winter Rent Drive and all that other stuff. I know it is really hard to come up with money. It is, and so I am grateful for every dollar that I've managed to get. Above and beyond anything else, it's all just going towards making sure that
I get off to as secure a running start as I can ask for. Pretty much all I got. Alright, y'all. Enjoy your time with Twisted. Again, SG says raids, the raid message, throw whatever emotes you want behind it. Just don't be weird, be appropriate. Enjoy Night Rain stuff, and I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all. Till next time, take care. Deuces.